Hey, this is Julie. It is a weekend wrap up. I'm going to share a few things about the core directional guide system, as sometimes I can put a lot of support resistance, short term intraday target levels on my chart. I'll have Keltner bands, I'll have other support dynamic support resistance areas, VWAPs, market profile levels, Fibonacci levels, whatever levels, support resistance levels I can get as locational trades, in addition to getting the overall trend. So I can totally understand that. So I'm going to address that real quick on the disclosures on the website. If you'll read those as well as the hypothetical performance disclaimer. And look at the chart. The reason I use a Unirenko bar is because I can control the risk amount. In this instance, this is 32 ticks, so that's $320 per turn, top to bottom. So if I want to tuck my stop below a pivot area, I know I have about roughly a $350 trade, given the slippage and the tick to get you in the direction. So you can take a directional trade once you get used to understanding the system, which is largely based on the previous close. And if you pull up the standard NinjaTrader indicator for prior open, high, low, close, you can set these to print on your chart. And this will be a magnet for price as well as the previous open and prior day high lows. And there's other chart areas, and that's the reason I have some of those on the smaller time frame. As I was saying, the halfback, other Fibonacci retracement and extension levels, as well as support resistance levels, and weekly levels, yada, 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 as well as wicks and tops and bottoms. So when you get a range leaving an area, that's what you want to see. And when it's coming inside the previous close and the previous open, that's sort of like the no man's land that you know that it's just going to chop inside this range. Open, close. When it goes inside, sideways, the only thing you can do is like range trade. And I have a KXD solver that is for that. And you can hit your ranges and know which way the price is moving. But inside that range of the previous close and previous open, I really don't want to, I don't care. I really prefer price to break out of this area if possible in a market, so then I can get directionally situated with my other system, such as the direction guide system. So just having a tool to enter a position for you when it becomes the conditions are met. So KXD, here is a trend long. You know for sure that you want to be long. So this is the, there's some divergent signals that are better for the lower time frames. But overall, that's a philosophy that I use, is just trading between these ranges on an intraday level. Of course, if you're above the halfback, if you're above the previous close, go in that direction. I use the river of gold, as I call it, on my smaller time frame charts. I can kick down and get a directional bias. So this is confirming what direction I want to go to. So I can drop down, and all I do is drop down to a lower time frame chart and set up a filter to take those trades. And just my, observation that you can use these value areas as pivots. If you're trading above a value area high, you want to go long generally. That's because it's trading above the VWAP, and you're trading to a level on the left-hand side of the chart on a higher time frame. So keep your levels handy, off of your time-based charts. Use Keltner's as much as possible. Be ready for a pullback at a upper band. If you're going long, the ideal place to go long is after a deep retracement and you're pulling back into value. So anytime you can get a deeper retracement, you get more bang for your buck in a trend. So that's why people, of course, buy the bottoms. So there's different techniques that you can use to trade and position yourself. I use things that are very easy. I use momentum straight out of a box, Ninja Trader, and I use stochastic and Keltner's and market profile and VWAP. It's very, very simple, but yet effective. And you want those bar to closes, those bars to close. So on a higher time frame, my $350 bar, when I want to go in that direction, I get a super trend going, I can set my stop behind these dots, which generally works very well to trail up on a higher time frame chart. So you're trailing well behind price, but you are moving up on the bottom end of that axis. So use your software, wait for your signals, and then enter the trade so that you can take advantage of these longer range expansions, or just be aware of where your upper resistance areas are so that you know that when you break through it, what it's doing. And you can take advantage of that. Always dropping down to a smaller time frame chart and executing the trade on a pullback. As pullback traders, that's the way you'd like to see it set up. So generally get the idea of what you're doing, have a confirmation, and then you can always kick it down to a smaller time frame chart and use your filters that will get you in. And that's the direction guide system. Have the ability to have solvers change from your contract that you're trading. I've got solvers set up for bonds, gold, energy, corn, beans, index futures, currencies. Just put your data on 24/7 default, and the solver will choose that regular trading hour session, which was set up for the markets before they took away the regular trading hour session, essentially. But you can get a generic direction guide that will do the same thing, but with Globex. And, or, of course, just other trend filters, directional filters, and my favorites, long or short filters. Because if you're going long, just put it on a long filter and let the trade get you in. Simple as that. So thank you. I hope that answered your question. Purchase a template if you want to see the templates in use. Purchase a trade room so that is just walking. We're using the templates that I'm trading with are these templates, and I'll explain the signals as they occur so that you can get the most benefit from them, as I will be getting from the room. So thank you so much. I hope to see you in the room or purchase the template. Thank you. Bye-bye.